Thanks for inviting us in. It's now 11 o'clock, and we want to begin tonight with a possible property tax hike right here in Marion County. A higher bill for homeowners that some say is the going price for a public education. Alex Almanza attended tonight's meeting of the Indianapolis Public Education Corporation and tells us what they had to say.
Taxpayers in Marion County are discussing the next chapter of public and charter schools. Thursday's IPEC meeting at Arsenal Tech's library is helping turn the page on what shared funding looks like for the two. This is IPS faces a $40 million cash deficit following last year's property tax relief.
There is a balance. People are facing real economic hardship right now.
David Harris serves as chair of IPEC. He says the decision to ask people for property tax increases when the state just reduced them last year is being done with sensitivity.
Where's that sweet spot between making sure we have the resources that our kids need and that we're not overburdening the taxpayer?
One option keeps the current rate at 19 cents per $100 of assessed home value. Another could push it as high as 55 cents. For a $200,000 home, that's roughly $169 to $475 a year. Monica Shellhammer is a teacher at IPS who spoke at Thursday's meeting.
We know that we need the money to be able to do what we do within IPS.
She says with less money coming in, everyone could be affected in some way.
I don't think if you would have asked us a couple of years ago that this was the way we were going to be doing it, we would have told you that's crazy and that's not how it works, right? So it's been on our minds.
IPEC is a first of its kind group in the country, formed by the State House earlier this year. While their goal is to approve the question that will go on the November ballot, it's ultimately down to what voters think. And with just months to go, the clock is ticking. In Indianapolis, Alex Almanza, 13 News.
Tonight at 11, we want to take a closer look at a fatal shooting in a parking garage here in downtown Indianapolis. It seems the more police reveal, the more upsetting this case gets.
Let that sink in. 14 years old and arrested for murder.
You heard that right. A 14-year-old suspect. IMPD alongside U.S. Marshals tracked the boy to the west side of Indy and then took him into custody yesterday. The victim, Brett Scrogum, was just 23 himself. He was a recent IU grad on his way to an Indians game last week. Now, police haven't said what may have motivated that attack, but they do say the two did not know each other.
One young man tragically had his life cut short, and another is going to face lifelong consequences for his actions.
Prosecutors are able to charge minors with adult charges in some murder cases, but first, a judge would have to waive that 14-year-old into adult court. Tonight at 11, a proclamation from Governor Mike Braun is prompting pushback from the LGBTQ community. June, as you know, is widely recognized as Pride Month, but Tuesday the governor declared June as Nuclear Family Month instead. Tonight our Logan Gay takes a closer look at the proclamation and the response from the community.
Indianapolis is kicking off Pride Month with events and celebrations happening across the city. Just this week, the Indianapolis City County Council officially recognized Pride Month. Belinda Drake was there to accept the resolution.
That's what real leadership looks like. It looks for the opportunity to celebrate diversity, but bring communities together.
But Drake says Governor Mike Braun's proclamation declaring June as Nuclear Family Month sends a different message. The proclamation describes the nuclear family as one husband, one wife, and their children. Drake, who is part of the LGBTQ community and a parent herself, says that definition leaves many families out.
There are about 300,000 LGBTQ adults who are parents, who are partners, who are taking care of their aging parents, who are business owners, and that proclamation simply just caused unnecessary division.
She also believes this doesn't just hurt the LGBTQ community, but any family who might not fit this definition of a nuclear family.
A lot of us sometimes grow up in single family households or single parent households where we only have one mom or one dad for whatever reason.
Drake also questions why the proclamation was issued during Pride Month, arguing state leaders should be focused on issues like housing, education, and infrastructure.
These are the things that residents care about.
During a press conference, Governor Mike Braun was asked what message this proclamation sends to non-traditional families.
And this isn't about any other statement other than the nuclear family is important. You're going to have others that might say otherwise, but that's not the case.
Lieutenant Governor Micah Beckwith praised the proclamation on social media, posting the phrase, "Take back the rainbow." Still, Drake says the LGBTQ community won't let this overshadow Pride Month.
We're going to continue to be a loving community and build the neighborhoods and ultimately vote in our best interests.
In Indianapolis, Logan Gay, 13 News.
It won't be quite as mild overnight. Temperatures instead of in the 50s, we're going to be in the 60s as we start our Friday. 64 in Indianapolis, 62 in Greencastle and Bloomington, and 62 degrees in Muncie. From there, we'll be at 80, so a quick warm up on the way for our Friday. A midday temperature of 80 degrees and highs expected 80 to 85. Slight chance of a passing shower north and west tomorrow afternoon, but the majority of the storms won't get here until the weekend. I'll have that timeline in a few minutes.
All right, Angela, we'll see you in a little bit.